boost your revenue and are listening to Flora Rockstars. I am watching Flora Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. We got a great show today, and we're going to bring you Quote of the Week. We are going to talk about our weekends and how crazy our weekends were or how boring they were, like mine. We are going to talk about our numbers, and numbers aren't sexy, but they do tell a story. We're going to talk about interest rates and inflation and all of those fun numbers and reports and how the cost of living has risen and why and how that affects real estate. We're going to give you the opportunity to call in and ask questions. So during the show, if you want to call 931-271-5318 and ask a random question, and if we could answer it, we will live on the radio. So just stay tuned, sit back, and enjoy. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are we on the radio?
We are on
live podcast.
Our radio.
Okay.
Our radio and Facebook and YouTube and I don't know where all else we're. Facebook.
We're just out there.
We're just on Facebook and YouTube right now.
Okay.
We're out there. We're just out there.
We're out there. I've always been told I've been out there.
Me too.
Same.
You're always just so out there. So how was everybody's weekend?
It was really good. We worked a little bit this weekend, and we helped our daughter move into our daughter and son-in-law get moved into their house and cleaned on it. Mm-hmm. And then we took our moms out Saturday night.
Yes, they did. We had a good time to a point.
Well, no. I mean, Mom was having a fantastic time.
She was having a good time.
And played pool. And get this, after you left,
Uh-huh.
I beat Nathan. It was just me and him playing. I did. I won.
I let her win.
I say you say. Uh-huh. I didn't do too bad playing pool, but then I got a stomach ache and had to go. So it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, we did too. And then just church. And Nathan is doing, he is on the serve team now. And he actually was just kind of sitting in and watching all the camera production and stuff. And then, so this Sunday, he's actually going to be running camera 2.
Woohoo.
Well, being trained to do it.
That's cool. Very good.
And then, of course, we're doing our big dad fest down there. So if y'all are looking for a church and something to do on Sunday for Father's Day, Faith Church is doing a car show, and we're doing walk-in tacos, and they're giving away a grill. So it's a big deal.
A car
big
show.
event, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Big event. They do.
What kind of car show?
If you got any kind of older car or
A big truck?
Big truck. If you got something nice, yeah, you can bring it.
I have something nice.
Can you bring a clinker?
I mean,
called a rat rod.
Yeah. No, I mean a clinker.
She was like, it's not nice at all.
No. It's got all of the dirt and stuff from over the year and the pollen and hasn't been washed, and it makes a racket whenever you're driving it. So
no, probably not.
That's probably the true original definition of a rat rod.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, I've seen rat rods. They're cool.
They are.
and
I
where
love
is
rat
where
rods.
is this church located?
So there's actually 3 campuses. The main church is in Florence, Alabama. And then there's a campus here in Lawrenceburg, and there's a campus in Muscle Shoals. So
And you guys go to the one in Florence?
we do, because, I mean,
We're
we
right in the middle of the Florence campus and the Lawrenceburg campus. And, I mean,
it is 25 minutes to get to church. It takes us 30 to get to Lawrenceburg.
that's true. It is about 5 minutes faster.
We live like 0.4 of a mile from the state line. Like, we could pretty much throw a rock and we're in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
That works, yeah.
So
What'd you do?
We went to the zoo on Saturday, and I about died. Like, it was so hot. I was like, I was not ready for this. But the kids had fun, and then they had new babies at the zoo, so they got to see all the new red baby pandas and lion or
Do they
the
have gorillas
tigers.
there and monkeys?
They don't have gorillas, but they do have like 4 different types of monkeys. So that was cool. And you can go in with the kangaroos. I did not know that, but you can actually walk in and be in the
Among them?
middle of the kangaroos.
I did not
yes.
know that. That is so cool.
So that was awesome. Like
Can you box with them?
I
Well,
wish.
I would want to.
I mean, You can't go like off the path, but you can sit there and like call them to you, and one of them come right up to us and was just all in our business and in our face. So
That would be a Zillow call, not a call for the radio.
and then I had some.
I got it. I'll get it.
I had some showings Sunday all over Columbia, and then we had church, and that was really nice. The girls got to do a few activities for Sunday school. So, busy weekend, but productive. We worked on the house.
What zoo did you go to?
The Nashville Zoo.
Okay.
We got the yearly membership, which is seriously cheaper than... I mean,
Paying at the door.
if
you
we
have so
would have
many
bought
kids, yeah.
tickets, it was going to be like $50 more than just a yearly pass. So I was
wow.
like, we're just doing that because we can go back. Their jungle gym, literally, you could spend all day in the playground. So
When
it was nice.
all my kids were little and I had 7 kids.
Yeah.
It was always cheaper to do the whole family.
Yeah. Then I started looking into
Yearly
like
thing.
the science museum up there, and it's cheaper to do a whole year pass. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna start doing yearly passes for everything.
Have y'all been to the Chattanooga Aquarium yet?
I have, and our oldest kiddos have, but we haven't taken the youngest ones there.
That's
So
probably like
that's-
one of our favorite
Oh
places.
yes, I love the
I
aquarium
want to go
too.
to the zoo.
You've never been to the zoo?
Not this zoo down here. Been to Columbus and been to Cincinnati.
The Memphis Zoo used to be good, and I don't know how it is now. But
Knoxville Zoo is nice.
I've
I
always
was
heard-
liked with the Knoxville.
I've
I
heard
come to
that.
work every day to a zoo, so
Yeah.
you know I don't have to,
Yeah.
especially when Nathan's here.
with Pat and Cody. And
You, especially Cody. Yeah,
He's kind of like
he's
a
like
little,
the hyena.
yeah, a little hyena runs around all the time.
Tasmanian
Oh, that
devil.
too. That too.
That little
probably-
ankle biter.
That describes them better than anything.
Pat, what'd you do?
Well, we went and sealed our slab on our concrete,
I saw that it's coming along.
and then it rained Saturday night because we did that on Saturday, and it rained Saturday night. So we get the bright idea to go down there and try to do a second coat. So we're brushing off the water and everything. And it's wet and it's slick, and Homer starts skating across it. He said, "No, I'm done. One coat's enough. That's all we're gonna do." I said, "Well, it's gonna be inside, so it doesn't really matter." So one coat is all we did.
Better than an ER trip. So.
Absolutely, a broken hip or
Yeah.
something.
So are you doing a barndominium?
It's technically that's what it is, but it's not like the barndominiums you see out and about.
It is, but it isn't.
Same thing, but different.
Yeah.
Okay, that's helpful.
That's
Visualizing now.
That's what Michael, he asked me, he said, "What are Skittles?" I said, "Well, they're like M&Ms, but different." So we say same thing, but different.
Okay. What, so did you do anything this weekend?
I didn't. I went out with you guys on Saturday. Sunday, messed around in the garden and I watched a movie, played with some numbers and real estate numbers and tracking and graphs and all that for the last 10 years to have a better understanding of where we've been and where we're headed. And just hung out with Cody, and I think that's all I did.
Nice.
So, yeah, very relaxing.
like
Yeah.
rejuvenate
I like
yourself.
doing numbers, though. That's.
Yeah.
I like seeing where we've been and how we've not changed in a long time. I mean, we've been pretty consistent for a while now. So
Yeah.
so
We're
anyway,
fishing too.
did you go fishing? Well, yeah, you're going to be living there, so
Yeah.
you're going to be able to just go eat dinner and go fishing.
Yeah, so let's
all
go
the time.
fishing.
I know. Sit
And-
on your porch. Can you sit on your porch and cast?
We probably could. Probably could.
If you get really good at it.
And we've got a geese family.
Are they there?
They've come. They come and they nest at the lake, and then once her babies hatch, she takes them out, and then when they get big enough, she brings them back.
That's
Aw.
awesome.
Aw.
Because if she didn't take them out, because one year, I don't know how long geese live, but one year she had about 4 babies going across through there, and then they'd disappear.
That's that alligator you got.
Pat, I don't know if I want
It's
to
like
come fishing
gator.
at your pond.
No, the fish would eat them. I mean, fish would just eat them. I mean, she just lost them.
Or snakes or turtles.
Turtles.
Probably turtles.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So, yeah,
So, are you going to build you a dock, just like right off your porch out
eventually, yeah.
Because that's
That'd be pretty.
We got to get over the shock of how much this is going to cost. If Homer don't have a heart attack before we
Right.
get done.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
could. It's like no,
Just
no, I
lumber
could see
prices
that.
right now. It's like, okay, this, it used to be a $400 project, and now it's $1,500. So it's like, let's wait on that for a
Well,
week or two.
He had a load of gravel brought down yesterday, $300. It's creek gravel.
Oh,
And then he's got a load of Crusher Run coming down this morning, $500. And we're
Boy,
go-
my gosh, that's changed
way when I be out.
and
from when I did my house.
so we're going to have a couple more loads of that. So there you go.
It's everything. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about inflation and the price that we're paying for everything. Nathan, what'd you do this weekend?
I don't know. I forget.
Oh.
Gee.
What Holly said, ditto.
Yeah, ditto what Holly said.
Whatever Holly did, that's what I did.
Yeah.
All right, you want to get us started?
Sure, the quote of the week. I am not a product of my circumstances. I'm a product of my decisions. Stephen Covey.
You know who Stephen Covey is?
No.
Stephen Covey is a very famous motivational writer,
Speaker, whatever.
speaker, and he's wrote the Seven Effective Habits, which is an excellent book to read for any kind of entrepreneurs or any kind of just anybody really, and great insight to business and to life. He was a pretty amazing person from what I read. I've never met him personally, but Tony Robbins, that was his idol. Tom Ferry, a lot of Matthew Ferry. Was that Tom's dad, Matthew?
I think that's right. That's
think
right.
so.
He was Stephen Covey was his mentor, and then the Franklin Planner. I don't know if y'all remember the Franklin Planner. It's a system with your calendar and all that. That was Stephen Covey's idea. He was really productive in business and really helpful in business. So very
Most
smart
people,
person.
most people are going to know who Tony Robbins is
Yeah, he's a big one.
because he's a really big one.
He's
Stephen
been
Covey used to be.
He's been in the movies. Tony Robbins has.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pretty man.
Really?
Sorry.
Really?
He's
You
ignoring
think
you,
so?
I think.
Yes, I thought so. But
Sorry, what?
I like his. I like his personality probably a lot. He's high energy all the time. And we've seen Tony Robbins live before, and he is
Texas.
phenomenal. I would love to do that big seminar that he does down in Florida. It's quite expensive, but it is days of high intense learning. I just don't know if I'd
I
have
did
to do
one of his
getting ready for it.
courses.
Oh, that's right. You did do one of his
And
courses.
it is amazing, but I couldn't last the 3 days. I mean, it was just
Intense.
It's intense.
Could
hard.
you imagine doing that live?
No, I think it'd be better live because I had an escape. I could get up out of my office chair and go to my kitchen, or go outside, or just go do something because I could. If you're there, you can't do that. You just have to be there.
Oh yeah.
But that quote is right because you see a lot of people. It's like Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up poor and everything, and he's a doctor now, famous doctor. He's in politics. So.
Yeah.
Yep, your decision leads your life. And so if you make poor decisions, then you're going to struggle
Right.
for a little bit till you learn.
Yeah, I was poor white trash, and I'm still poor white trash.
Says
Who's
the woman who's
building a
building a
house?
house.
Right. It's like, it's building the house that made me poor again.
That's
okay?
it.
Like, I was doing all right
I
till
had
then.
a little money, but now I'm poor white trash again.
Well, you'll be all right.
No,
we were
I'm just
looking
teasing on that.
the other day. We were, Holly said we were cleaning out the hog pen and all that.
Oh, that's right. You didn't say. Where she
Miss
went.
Piggy
Oh.
is going to heaven.
Miss
Piggy
Piggy
Oh.
went to the market.
She went to the freezer, but
going to the freezer.
but we were out there getting that done, and we were looking at our house and all of the stuff we've been doing and stuff, and we look at each other and we're like, we're hillbillies. Because we got a refrigerator out in the carport,
if
there's
you got
stuff
a recliner
around.
on your front porch,
we
yes.
got 2 rocking chairs.
We got
No,
4
that's not
different
a
colors
recliner.
on the
You're still
outside
good.
of our house,
Well, at least you're not a redneck now.
Oh, but
I've
we're
got-
running close.
I have got a truck out in my yard. It's not
Full of
on
trash?
blocks. It's not on blocks, but it's got crap on the back of it. So I'm a redneck.
Well, we had the kidnapper van, who Clarissa has been proudly driving that around lately. Let me say, The 17-year-old loves driving the kidnapper van.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
They actually, though, her and one of her good friends, Grace, they got off work Sunday night from the taco shack. And they're like, she calls me. She's like, can we go shopping? And I'm like, you're going to take the van? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay, sure. So they drive to Florence in the kidnapper van.
That's hilarious. It's a cargo van is
It
what
gets
it
them
is.
around,
It's a
okay?
great-
I
it's a
guess they're
great
just
work
accepting
van.
it.
It's a great work van. I
They've
love it.
got another one
but
out there on Facebook, and I sent it to you guys. So
I don't think I've seen
I
that.
didn't think so. Are you sure?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
We know it used to be a work van.
Did.
It was.
Yeah, it was
before
a,
she bought it. Yeah.
Was a glass company.
I don't know. Whatever it said on it.
Yeah, there's something on the window that you can
You know
see a
that
little
you
bit.
can get the 1970s big petal flowers. The big hippie flowers.
That's what you need to put on that van.
That's what Clarissa
Yes.
needs to do to the van.
And we just give it to her, sure. If I get another one.
Oh,
Well,
you
then
can
buy
sport
the one
it.
that was on Facebook because it looks better.
But no, eventually, we take care of this van. It'll last a while, and I think I'm going to get it wrapped. We can get it wrapped for like $1,000. Just get it
Eventually.
wrapped with like Flora Mid-South or whatever.
Yeah.
It's tax write-off at that point.
Wouldn't
We're-
you,
we're
wouldn't you
driving
have to
billboard.
get commercial
There you go.
tags?
No.
If
You
it's
do
a
not-
drive-in billboard?
No, you do not. If you use it to make money, you do, but we're not using it to make money.
You're advertising.
I think
It's
you
advertising,
still- I
it's
think you
not-
need to check it because
No.
the cops told me because I had the decals on the side of my truck that I would need to
It
get.
depends. Where were you? Up in Murray County?
Mm-mm.
Here?
It was in Lewis County.
Oh.
So I think that's...
So I don't know. Like I wonder, like what the line
That
is.
is
It
a
is.
state law. State, not counties.
Yeah.
State, not
They said that
counties.
some places don't really enforce
Like
it
down
because
here
so
they
many
don't.
people
Yes,
do, but
yes.
it is a state thing.
Well, whatever, just
Because-
get commercial tax for it, call it a day.
Well, because Thomas Kobeck, he had the auction company on the side of his doors, and the cops told him he had to have commercial tags.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So,
Everybody wants their money.
I was gonna say just another way to get money.
Absolutely.
and if you're driving a ton truck, or like your tag goes on the front.
Does that count me and the truck, or just the truck?
Anyway, your tag goes on the front, but some cops stop you and says it goes on the back. But state law is it goes on the front.
But don't you have that out? Don't you? You have to have state law. You have to have a tag on the back. So if you
No.
drive a ton
No.
truck, then you have it in the front and the back.
No,
Like in Ohio, you have to have front and back.
no. Tennessee, you just have it on the front.
That makes no sense.
Maybe they're trying to give us a one cheaper way of
That's
getting
that's
out.
it. Because if you have a ton or over, the tag goes on the front.
And you don't have to
No,
have one on the back.
None on the back.
I've seen like farmers with their agricultural tags on their over 1 ton. They'll put them on the front, so they got nothing on the back. They run 'em
one
like
of our
that.
previous agents, he had his tag on the back, and it was over a ton. He got stopped, and the cop told him it had to be on the front. And then the cop found out he was driving it commercially, so he got stuck big time. So if you don't want to get stopped and you're driving a ton truck, put it on the front.
That's so asinine. That's
Lesson
weird. Never heard
learned.
of that. Never heard of that.
Well, we're going to go to a commercial, read your agenda, and when we come back, numbers aren't sexy, but they do tell a story.
I'm not ready, by the way. It's going to be a second.
All right. Well, remember, you can call in if you have any questions. You want to talk about real estate. You want to talk about inflation, but don't get real technical because we're not that smart. We're just realtors.
Wow! Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Some of us.
Somebody
Somebody
needs,
knows
yeah,
this, Dan.
some of us have this down pretty
I
well.
thought I'd get them
Wow.
going at that point. But anyway, call in at 931-271-5318 and ask your questions. We'll try to answer them. And yes, we're all smart. We're all smart about all things.
Well, I have been called a smart bleep.
I've been called beep, 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 beep.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Are you stuck in a boring job? Yeah! Are you over what you're doing now? Yeah! Would you like to start a new career? Yeah! Hi, I'm Teresa Flora with Flora Mid-South Realty, and we're looking for outstanding team members. Would you like to have unlimited income?
Duh.
Would you like to work your own schedule? Yeah! Would you like to have your own business? Yeah! Well, here's the place. If you would come to 1288 First Avenue, right behind McDonald's, or give me a call at 931-271-5790. I would love to talk to you about the career that I fell in love with. Talk to you soon. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Victoria Watts with Flora Mid-South Realty. Are you ready for a fun and unforgettable real estate journey? Whether you're on the hunt for your dream home or getting ready to sell, I'm here to be your real estate partner in crime. So why settle for ordinary when you can have an extraordinary real estate experience with me by your side? You can find me on Facebook at Victoria Watts Realtor, or you can give me a call at 931-253-1308, and let's get started.
And we are back to Flora Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Now it is Numbers Aren't Sexy, but they do tell a story. The numbers brought to you today are from June 2nd through the 8th. Currently we have 147 listings. That's the most listings we have had in over a year, and with an average list price of $362,000. Coming soon, not quite ready to go active on the market. We have 6 of those with an average list price of $443,000. Under contract showing, that means that the seller is maybe taking backup offers, additional showings, and just to ensure that he has a good contract to go to close. And we have 7 under contract showings with an average list price of $277,914. Under contract not showing, that's where we have a happy buyer, happy seller, and we are headed to close. We have 1 of those with an average list price of $210,000. We had 2 expireds and 1 canceled. We had 7 closings last week with an average sold price of $397,167, and I think that's the highest sold price we've had in a little while. The number that I have everybody pay attention to is the list price versus the sale price. It was 94.52%, so they were getting almost 95% of list price. The time I put the sign in the yard till it went under contract took 95 days. From the time it went under contract till we sold took additional 43 days. So all in all, from the time we went to the sign in the ground till we closed was 138 days. This time last year was pretty active. We had 11 closings with an average sale price of $229,245. The number I tell you to pay attention to, list price versus sale price, was 98.76%, and it took 97 days total to get that property listed and sold. The current inventory right now, we have 4.51 months. So in 4.51 months, if nothing else comes on the market, we'll be homeless and we'll have nothing else to sell. Interest rates are a big hot topic. Tomorrow the big report comes out, and so we're going to see where the rates are. The rates have went up since last week. The 30-year fixed rate, 7.17. The 30-year FHA, 6.65. The 30-year VA, 6.66. And the 30-year USDA, 6.99. Remember, interest rates are based on what you look like financially, your debt to income, how you pay your bills, your credit score. There's a lot of things it takes, how long you've been on your job. There's a lot of things it takes into consideration. So an interest rate is like a thumbprint. It is made for you. And that is, numbers aren't sexy, but they do tell a story.
Are all of these interest rates, are they all fixed rates?
Yes, they're all fixed. That means that they cannot fluctuate according to prime. There are some loans out there that if prime changes, then the interest rate will change.
So they're variable rates.
Variable, but these were all fixed.
Okie dokie. Just getting a clarification there.
Yes. It says, I'm going to read this. It says, rates went up Friday and again yesterday. Inflation number report comes out tomorrow. It looks like everyone is expecting inflation numbers to come in higher or at least no change. Looks like the Feds may not be doing a rate cut anytime soon, which is not good news.
No, I was reading on the real estate news last night, and they were saying, like, as far as home equity, like, we are the highest. Like, we almost broke the record for quarter 3 of last year with how high equity is in homes.
Mm-hmm.
And, now, of course, we have more inventory, but because of the interest rates and what the feds are doing with those, like, it's still, it can be difficult for a buyer to find their perfect home and get in it.
Right.
Just because even with all the homes, interest rates are really kind of up and down right now. So,
well, the thing about real estate is there's always going to be a baby being born, somebody's getting a divorce, somebody's passing away. There's always a need for change, maybe taking a new job. So it doesn't matter. There's always going to be buyers and sellers. I don't care if the interest rates are at 9. You will still have a buyer.
Yeah, definitely.
At that.
Well, and I think it's hard for people, too. I mean, everybody's acting like these interest rates are atrocious, which I'm not saying it's not hard to deal with this interest rate versus our 3% a few years ago. But, back when my parents bought houses in the 90s, it was, 10% all day long in Florida. That was just, nobody batted an eye. That's just what your interest was, so.
Yes, but the house prices were different.
Yeah.
It's like Homer said when he bought his first house, it was a Jim Walters Homes. I don't know if y'all know what those are.
Yeah,
I do.
Okay. And he said it cost him $3,000 for his first house.
I seen a commercial on Facebook that said it was from the Sears catalog, and where you could buy a 2-story house from Sears catalog for $949.
Yeah, that was way back. But his Jim Walters home is where they come out and they build it as far as you want them to. It's sort of like a kit house, really.
Like
So-
Summertown, then
Yeah.
almost like they just put the
Yeah.
bare walls up or whatever.
Yeah,
they could do
they
the
go-
floor or the windows.
And he
then-
said that you sat at the kitchen table and you had to get up to open the oven.
Like a tiny house.
It was a tiny house. And you may know the house. It's out on Adkins Lane. Yeah, I don't forgot the address of it, but it's out on Adkins Lane.
I'm gonna have to go down that lane now just to
Oh,
see if I can
know.
figure
Now
out what
we gotta
house it
find
is.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it must have been a good house. It's still there.
it's still there. They may have added on to it and everything, but actually it's before you get to the dump.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. I got you now.
The size of houses now are just so much more than what they used to be. But then you get some now, it's like we're kind of almost reverting. So because the cost of living is so much higher, so people are stepping back the size of house, and they are doing tiny homes, kind of like, you.
Well,
You're in your
tiny
little tiny home.
Well, the Japanese are minimalists. They have hardly anything in their houses, on their walls, or anything.
On doors.
And their houses are built to where everything like folds out and pulls out, and all their days
And we're
is
learning
putting
from
stuff
them
up.
because of that.
Yeah,
Look
I mean
at
they
tiny
have amazing systems. They do.
So you have to think about, okay, don't go out and get this big, huge building full of stuff because it's going to take you a long time to get rid of it.
Marty.
And then your kids are going to have to deal with it. And
Seems like a personal experience.
if you have good stuff in there, they're just going to, let's take that to the dump. Here, would you give me $1 for that? Sure. So
Yours, one man's treasures is the other man's junk, or something like that. Is
one
that
man's
true?
trash
Sure.
is another man's
Yeah,
treasure.
there we go.
A little backwards there. You almost had it.
Well, I did hear something from another real estate agent that I loved is that she said, even though some of these really cheap houses, they are potentially somebody else's upgrade.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And actually, you look at the early, well, I don't want to say early, but some of the subdivisions, the spec homes in there, they're built to sell.
Yeah.
So
But it's true. I mean, like that the house I sold in Hohenwald the end of last year. That was. I mean, it needed a total gut and redone. I was out yard selling Saturday morning after the Summerfest, and they had a yard sale, so I went over there, and she was like, "Oh, you got to come inside and see the house." And she took me on a little tour, and I mean, it's beautiful now. Like, you know, they still have some foundation stuff they have to finish dealing with and everything, but they literally have turned that house into a gorgeous home, and that's, you know, in 6 months now. I've lost half the year, but
Well, you got to think about whenever you first build a house, everything's perfect, but then settling happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that can cause problems.
Yeah,
too.
over the years, everything starts to sag.
Everything. Everything.
at least the house you can like jack back up.
Well,
a
you
little.
can that too. You know.
I mean, you can have surgery. You can
Yeah.
jack that up
No,
too.
I'm not sure I want to do all
Look
that.
at sagging here. Look at these jowls, how
Well,
they're
tomorrow.
sagging.
Tomorrow is an important day that we all need to be paying attention to, and that is when the Consumer Price Index report comes out, and it comes out here at 8:30 tomorrow.
7:30 here.
7:30 tomorrow morning, and it's called the CPI. The Consumer Price Index measures the monthly change in price paid by U.S. consumers. So it measures what you pay for stuff. It's the most popular way to measure inflation and deflation. Inflation is the rate of increase in prices over a given time. Inflation is typically a broad measure like an overall increase in prices or an increase in the cost of living. What's the leading cause of inflation? More jobs, higher wages, people spending more money, and then future increasing demands on the scope of firms, increasing on prices and the goods service. So all of that, with that being said, is what we pay for stuff, the fact that we get more jobs, and just the overall cost. Right now, as of April 2024, because these reports come out once a year, and tomorrow is the day. And we have been, since April, our inflation rate in the United States is 3.4%. That's what's causing our interest rates for mortgages to rise, because what they want to do is raise those rates to help stop people from spending monies, and they think that's going to cure our inflation.
It'll slow
problem.
down people. I mean, because we see this when we're working with buyers all the time. It can price people out, and then they're like, okay, well, let's just wait because I'm wanting this particular house or a particular style of house. So they decide to just wait until the interest rates come down a bit. That happens a lot. I mean, we do see that.
The rates do fluctuate, and the days
On a daily basis.
correct, and right now daily. But how do you feel about these rates going back to where they were? You know, part of the problem of why people aren't selling is because they bought when it was 2% or a little over 1%. And why would they want to give that up versus a 7 or 8%?
And not only that, they're not wanting to sell because they're not confident that they're going to find something they want that's better anyways, too.
Right, and
For the same price.
correct.
But like I said, people still have to make moves.
Well, of
all the
course. I
time.
mean, if it's a necessity move, yeah, absolutely. But people aren't upgrading right now if they don't have
Or
to.
down.
Just to
Downsizing.
upgrade, yeah,
Yeah.
they're just not
They're
for the
sitting.
most part.
Mm-hmm.
Which
But-
I don't blame them at all.
No, I don't either.
You know,
I don't
it's
either.
just-
Well,
it's
when the
smart.
prices of stuff goes up, then people have to spend more money because things are higher. And another thing that happens that contributes to inflation is the government throwing money at everything.
Yes, that was a big
Yeah.
factor too. And in fact,
Just a quick disclaimer, everybody out there. We're real estate agents and realtors. We're not financial advisors.
that's true.
So just take it with a grain of salt.
We have our opinion.
That's our opinions of all this.
I'm
Yeah.
just letting them know. Don't just take it with a grain of salt.
Back in 2021, when we know that's when our presidency changed, our inflation rate, you ready, was 7%. in 21, according to this report I got off the internet.
Okay.
How is
So,
actually,
okay, let's
no,
just
wait
talk
a
about
minute.
this
It's what
for a
it
minute.
says.
So let's
I know,
talk about this for a
but
minute.
if you listen, it was 1.46, I believe, when he took office.
1.4.
1.4, and then after he took office, it started going
Yes.
up. So he claims that it was 9% when he took office, but it wasn't.
No.
Anyway,
Okay,
When-
so part of that, I feel like, because I mean, I've had some major discussions in the less than 24 hours with some people about this, and the numbers are a bit skewed because they used to be based on a couple years look, and now they changed it, and so now it's just based on a year look at it, and so the numbers are skewed pretty majorly. The way they were explaining it, which went a lot of it over my head. But it was like, even like jobs. So if, let's just say you are unemployed and you've been looking for a job, stuff falls off after a few months.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's like where it's really just going to mess up the numbers and
Yeah,
all
the
of that.
unemployment numbers are wrong because they're only counting people that are actually on unemployment
Right.
benefits. They don't count the people that, don't get benefits anymore or are still out there looking for jobs.
Correct.
But they said that the job increase, this last time they were touting so many jobs, new jobs, and said most of those were in the government. So most of those were government jobs.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a
I mean, there's no
presidential
way
year.
to track, unemployment for the middle class that fall through, that don't have unemployment, that don't have food stamps, that are barely making it. I mean, there's no way to track, okay, when did they get fired or when did they, lose their job for medical reasons. There's just no way to keep up with that.
Right. Back in April of 23, the inflation rate was 4.9%. This April, it was 3.4%. So we did come down a little from last year, but still the inflation rate is high because they want it to be around, the target is around 2%. And so it's going to take a lot to get down there, and so it's going to, I think we're going to feel the pain of that sum of bringing those numbers down.
I think we're already feeling the pain. I'm just
Well,
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
we went to the grocery store yesterday after showing a house, and we got hardly anything, and it was $160.
Oh, I can't, for me, just me all by myself, I can't get out of the grocery store with $100. I mean, it's terrible. And that's just necessities, nothing extra.
Yeah, there's no buying snacks anymore. You make yours at home
Right.
because you're spending, like our family of 7, I don't get out of the grocery store under $250.
Oh,
and
I bet.
I'm making all of our snacks, all of our meals homemade, everything is scratch.
I was a huge Aldi's fan back when I had so many kids.
Yeah.
Because we would go and we would just stock up on
Even
all the
Aldi's
cans.
prices
I was
are
about
up
to say,
there.
Aldi's is no better now.
But
Yeah.
It's
And
about the
what-
same.
Yeah, exactly. It's going up even
The
there,
only
too.
way that I figured it is like going to farmers markets or produce stands or locally or, like Lewis County, we have a barter group actually. And people barter, things back and forth. And a lot
That's
of people
cool.
do
Well,
food
I like
too.
that.
So,
What we've decided for our main protein is we're raising our own, and it's cheaper. We did the math to raise your animals and take it to get processed. It's cheaper than buying it because of the amount you get. The only problem is you have to freeze it and store it, and that gets a little scary because if your freezer goes out,
Oh,
you just
yeah,
lost
like
hundreds
mine.
and hundreds of dollars of meat.
You
or
can-
learn
you
how to
can do the
can it.
can it.
We canned our meat, and that actually turned out really good.
I don't want no canned meat.
No, if you take it and then put it in the oven afterwards, it doesn't taste like you canned it.
I don't want
Really?
no
So is that
canned
I
meat.
don't know. It's
Freezing changes the taste of it too.
It
It
does,
does.
yeah.
It does.
But I talked to a gentleman yesterday that was raising. He's got sheep and goats and chickens.
Yeah,
and,
goats is our next
And
goal.
he said he can't kill them.
well, that defeats
I don't
the
think
whole
I could.
purpose.
I don't think I could kill a goat. I don't really like goat meat anyway. So like, if I had a
I'd have a problem
goat,
with
I'd be
goat.
like, okay, it's our pet now.
But
didn't
some
have a
people
problem
say
with
they
goat.
don't want goats; they want sheep.
Sheep meat is supposed to be better, from what
I
I've
don't know.
heard.
I've never had either one. I don't think. I think
I've had
Oh,
goat.
I've had
you've
goat.
had goat.
I've had goat, gyro, go. What's that?
That's
uh,
lamb.
Gyro.
Lamb.
That's lamb.
Arrow.
That's
oh, that's
lamb.
lamb.
That's a baby
Oh.
sheep.
Yeah,
Bah.
it's just a baby.
Oh, well.
But you've got meat sheep and you've got wool sheep. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
different types of sheep out there.
Well,
And
it's
there's
like
different
pigs.
types of goats, too. You've got milk goats and meat goats and stuff like that.
There, you can all go to goat milk.
Well, that's why we do like our chickens. I mean, I did the math this month because I was like, okay, am I really saving money on these chickens or not? And yeah, I mean, 2 bags of feed a month, and then we feed all of our table scraps besides, of course, meat. I don't do that, but and we're
We feed our
saving money
chickens
and
chicken.
making
Is
money.
that weird? I'm just kidding.
My sister does. My sister, like, when we go out to eat, and she's like takes everybody's scraps and she piles them in there, and I'm like, "What are you feeding that to?" She goes, "My chickens." I'm like, "Those chicken fingers in there." And she said, "They eat them."
It's cooked. So
They
it
do
doesn't
eat
matter.
them. I just can't do it. I'm like, I
No.
just don't feel like this.
But you know,
is
you can
okay.
also like, so it's supposed to be really good for me if you grind up their eggshells.
I do that. I do, and it
That's
keeps
the
them from it makes really hard shells, and so they don't break them as
You
easy.
have to make sure you grind them up where they can't recognize their shells, because what'll happen is they'll start pecking the laid
their
eggs.
own eggs. Yeah.
Well, they already do that.
we
ours.
had a problem. We
Yeah.
had one that did that.
Did y'all buy the hard eggs?
No,
The
not
golf
yet.
balls.
We just now
If you
found.
do the hard eggs, it'll make them stop pecking their own
Yeah.
eggs.
That was just the one time. So
She was
far.
out. She was out of the pen, and because I'm not sure exactly how they're getting out. There's a couple holes that are kind of big, but then there's
That might be it.
well, no, but I mean they're up there at the top of the peak of the
Oh.
roof. They're I mean they.
They can
can
fly.
fly.
I
Yeah.
understand that, but that's a pretty stout fall. But
It's not like dropping them out of a helicopter when you do the turkeys.
well, I know Bella likes throwing her chickens, so
She makes them fly. She just like
yeah.
tosses them and lets them fly.
and they like it, so they run
They come back to her.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
They're not the smartest birds.
so she was out and she laid an egg outside the pen, and then I don't know if it was her doing it or something else. It could be crows. We got a lot of crows out there, but there was a hole pecked out of it.
Maybe she just got hungry because she was outside the
Maybe.
pen.
Yeah.
She couldn't
It-
find no
it
food.
Well, the
could've been
thing
a
is,
crow.
she got
It
back
could've been a
in.
crow.
Yeah.
Did she get back in, or y'all had put her back in?
No, we put her back in.
Oh, okay.
It could have been something else.
Well, that's what I thought, because then
Yeah.
I was looking out the other day and there was like 20 crows just flying around. I'm glad I put the chicken wire over top of it too.
Yeah, because I was coming into work one day and I seen this crow being chased by some birds, and the crow had something in its mouth. I said,
Oh
"Oh,
no, that's an egg. That's
A
an egg
baby
or a
chick.
baby chick.
Baby
chick.
chick."
Yeah.
Ew.
It
Hey, do you
happens.
know the factors that contribute
Right back
to
into it.
inflation?
I got off on food there for a
Reel
second.
this back in.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna read
Wait,
again.
one more time though. But does anybody want to split a cow or quarter cow or something?
Yeah, I am.
Because it's just because that would save us a lot of money.
Let me
too.
know for a quarter cow, because
Yeah.
like
and I'll
Raina
do the
can't
other
have
quarter.
That's
she
right,
still
she
can't
has-
have beef, but like my husband appreciates it every now and then.
Right.
So
Yeah, because I mean we can't do a whole cow. I mean,
Yeah.
A cow or a pig?
a cow.
A cow.
Cow.
You can buy
You
shares
just took
of
a
cow.
pig, not a cow.
I know.
buy
I'm not
shares.
trying to sell it. I'm trying to split a cow with somebody.
Oh, there was something on Facebook. Somebody around here was doing that.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, I'll do.
Oh, before we get started on inflation,
Yes.
you can preserve your eggs too.
Yes,
I saw that.
Yes.
I gotta try the
But
glass
now the
eggs.
thing about eggs is they last a really long time on their own anyway. The only
the
time
glass eggs is like up to 2 years though.
yeah. I don't know.
Okay, let's get back on inflation.
Okay.
Everybody's getting tired of farming things.
Right?
I don't do.
That's
any
called
of that.
life.
It is called life.
Hey, we're learning better ways to handle
To
this
deal with
inflation.
inflation,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I
mean-
mean, you have to. Like,
Yeah.
we bought our house, and I was like, okay, guys, we got to figure out the food because that's the only place I can cut budget.
Yeah, we. I mean, we're blessed to have enough land to do this stuff. People in the inner city, I don't know how they're doing it when they can't produce stuff on their own. I mean, you can only eat so many McDonald's burgers. You know, just saying.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off of the
I
dollar
made-
menu.
Yeah.
There's
Dollar
only so
menu.
mu-
What
There
dollar
ain't no
menu
dollar
anymore?
menu anymore.
Their dollar menu has changed to value menu,
Yeah.
and it's not much
Yeah.
of a value.
No.
There's
Yeah,
no
no.
more
A
dollar.
McChicken nowadays is $3.80 to something. $3.80 something for a McChicken. Used to be $1. I used to eat like 5. 6
There's
of
your
them.
inflation numbers.
There's inflation in many ways there. All right. Let's talk a little bit more about inflation and interest rates and how all this ties in. Factors contributed to the current inflation rate include increases in shelter, which would be housing, gasoline, and this one I thought was interesting, motor vehicle insurance prices. While food prices remain relatively stable in April, the overall energy index rose 1.1% over the month, reflecting higher costs for gasoline and fuel oil, although natural gas prices fell. Oh, so if you got natural gas, your bill was probably a little cheaper.
That's because you're not heating.
Well,
that's
pretty
probably
much.
true.
Yeah, all it is.
That's why that fell a little bit.
Over last year, the food index increased by 2.2%. So there's our cost at the grocery store. With food away from home, your McDonald's is 4.1% it rose.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that just shows
That's
you our
about
price
it.
increases.
It goes from $1 to almost $4. There
Yeah.
you go.
In many advanced economics, is that what that says? Economies, the normal or target inflation rate is around 2% per year. Central banks, such as Federal Reserve in the United States, sets the target as a benchmark to promote economic stability and growth. And that is, they want to try to keep it around a 2%, the inflation rate. So we got a ways to go for that.
Yeah.
You know, interest rates were a little bit lower the beginning of last week and the week before we saw interest rates. And so I was talking to one of our lenders last night, and, you know, they have gradually creeped up and creeped up and creeped up this past, like, starting like the end of last week and then this week so far. They just keep creeping up. And she explained, because I was like, okay, well, why are we creeping up? And she said, because the market, her and her husband were talking to me last night, and the market it's a gamble. And so the market tries to predict what is going to happen with these inflation rates and where the inflation's at. And so the market is predicting that inflation is going to remain the same or be a bit higher. So they are already padding a little bit of that, and they're gambling and betting this. Some of this stuff went over my
It's
head.
all a gamble, yeah.
Yeah.
The
so it's a little
lenders do
higher.
that too, though, right? The banks, the bigger banks and things, they pad it a little.
They will. Now, they do pad it quite a bit, a little bit more, so that it's not so much of a shock to the economy. So they already start making their interest rates go up too, to pad that.
And then that's where, you know, sometimes they can cut deals with that interest rate. They could come down a little with that rate.
Some will offer it. There's one lender right now that it's a conventional loan, and they're doing a 0%. And the reason why it's 0% is because the lender is technically paying that 3% down. Your 3% down
It's
payment.
it's like a
It's almost like a grant.
well, it's like a grant, but you don't have to pay it back unless you
Sell.
Sell within a certain amount of time.
Yeah. So they're basically paying a 3% down payment for you. If you keep the life of the loan, then you'll never owe that back. But if you sell it within a certain amount of time, then you have to pay that back.
Used to
That's
be
like what
5
THDA
years.
does that too.
It's very similar
Yeah.
to THDA,
Yeah.
but it's a 0% loan. It's not FHA. THDA is usually,
Is there PMI with that?
yes, there's PMI. I believe there's PMI with
It's
anything that's
conventional.
below 80%
Yeah.
Oh,
is
that's true.
PMI.
Yeah.
But it'll
Well,
at least fall off. Whereas FHA and VA, PMI never falls off. It will be for the life of the
for the
loan.
life of the loan, correct.
That's why it's cheaper.
Conventional.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, it's really important to listen to that report. We're going to kind of get an idea of where we're headed. And I'm kind of curious, you know, this was not a subject. Numbers weren't always my thing, and what wasn't always my subject. My subject was art. And, you know, I graduated as a junior by studying art. And so now as I'm older, and I find this very interesting, and I love to watch numbers and how it tells a story. Right now I'm doing a report for the last 20 years of real estate numbers, and it's going to be exciting. I'm kind of excited to see how all this turns out and put it on a spreadsheet and share it with y'all. But numbers do tell. That's like tomorrow. Tomorrow's report's full of numbers, and it's going to kind of predict what our interest rates or what our inflation's going to happen and what our economy's going to do,
Now,
how
you gotta
far your
remember
money's going to go.
This year will be a little different as well because
Yeah.
it always is on
Election
years.
year, yes.
Election years are always just a little wonky because
People are
everybody's trying to look
scared
good.
people wants to look good, but people are kind of scared to spend their money too.
Absolutely. I mean, because the unknown kind of makes people
I don't know if that's a
hesitate
call
for
or
spending
if
money.
Answer it.
It's Florida.
Or at least turn it off. Jeez.
Hello, Teresa.
It's pretty loud in the ear headphones.
Hey, it's not that loud out here.
No. Sorry, false alarm. I thought that was one of you guys calling in
You
and
never-
asking a question.
Well, I don't think you ever gave a phone number to call or anything.
I
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
did
did.
twice.
Oh, okay.
Twice.
It's this phone number right here behind us too.
There's Kentucky calling.
It is
yeah.
spam. They're like, oh, she answered. Let's
I
call
know.
her.
Let's just
I
keep
know.
calling now.
All right, yeah, this number.
But so election years numbers always are a little skewed because people are
Holding their money.
holding their money to
Yeah.
see what's going to happen.
Yep.
You know, and
Well,
if we
too-
get Trump back in, it'll be a whole different story.
Well, too, when the interest rates go up, so does the savings interest rates go
There
up.
is a benefit to it. So, yes, when the interest rates were 2%, the monies wasn't making any money.
It was like 0.25 or something.
If it was that high.
Yeah, yeah.
And so with the interest rates being higher, yes, your money in the bank, the CDs, the bank's money makes money.
but
Turn that thing off.
but also
Hit that
you
little
know,
button on the side of
real,
the silence.
real estate's always the a little more. I mean, if you're looking for investments, don't let your money just sit in a savings account.
Oh, no.
No.
Real estate has always been the best investment. And
It's
right
been
now,
one-
they're
it's been
saying,
the most stable investment.
well, yes. And they're saying that's better than gold. And it's better than,
Stocks too.
Stocks.
In some places, I mean, a lot of people are saying like, yeah, I mean, I'm not against stocks. I have stocks, but they're saying that like long term, a lot of people get a better return out of real estate.
You know, it's just with real estate, there is a little more stuff you got to do. It's not as you're just buying a stock or whatever, and it's just sitting there and you'll forget about it for 10, 15 years. You know, real estate, there is some headaches involved, you know, trying to purchase it, hold on to it. Even if you do hire us or any other property management company, there's still extra stuff you got to do when you have real estate. So it's a little more.
There's more maintenance to
Yeah.
it. But then at the same time, it's like it's easier to understand when you start doing all the stocks and stuff like that. Unless I paid somebody to like, pretty
Yeah.
much do
What
that
you
for
do,
me, I would have no clue.
A lot of people do.
I took all my lessons from my brother, honestly. He spends hours learning stocks, and he's 21 and made more money in stocks than I've ever seen. I'm like, yeah, just tell me what to invest in.
Here's
like,
my money.
Yeah,
Just
like
do
just
it
tell me where to
for
put
me.
it.
Exactly. Got to pay somebody who's a little smarter
All
than me
right.
to understand that.
all right, you got any listings you want to talk about? Because we're going to have to wrap this up. And
My listing at 2233 Bear Creek Pike in Columbia, we did do a price adjustment on that. It does have 5 acres. It's like 2,000 square feet. So check that out. Give me a call. Definitely don't want to miss that.
okay.
We still have our Loretta listing at the moment. It is a 3-bedroom and two full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, little over 3.5 acres. It's a mid-century modern. It's been remodeled a couple of years ago. Absolutely beautiful. It is in town of Loretta.
With almost 4 acres. Remember that. In
Yes.
town, Loretta, with almost 4 acres.
And I did find
Nice.
out you can technically have animals. There's a gray area. You still are responsible for like the noise or the smells or anything like that. As long as you can control them, you are allowed to have them in town in
Air
Loretta.
freshener.
The whole yard.
I was
With the big fan.
I had a call there, but you can, like, if people wanted a small chicken coop out back, that's fine. If you wanted goats out there, you can have them. But
you
it's
gotta-
just there's a
you gotta
gray
keep it
area.
small.
Here I
down.
come with my horse. I feel like nobody
you
can
know,
see it. It's fine.
That was actually, they were going, the people who own it now, they were actually going to get a couple horses to put out there.
It's probably one of the less stinky animals that you'd have to deal with, really.
Yeah,
That's true.
it
Yeah.
is. They were,
Oh,
because,
they would have to do a lot of work to that to put horses on that.
but they knew that.
Oh, okay.
But to me, if it was me, if I wanted to make money, I'd probably like clear a lot of the trees and then clear most of that lot back there, and I would sell those lots off it in a heartbeat. That
Absolutely.
was me.
Well,
It
not
would
only
make
that,
a lot of money
There's
on
probably
them.
30 to 40,000 worth of timber out there.
It's. I know back a couple of years ago, it quoted for 10,000. So
It's probably raised
It's
since
probably-
then.
yeah.
it's probably a little more
probably
since
30
then.
to 40
Hardwoods
worth
or-
of timber.
Hardwoods.
Hardwood. Yep.
hmm So you get rid of that, and then you clean it all up, and I'd sell off those as lots. You'd make quite a bit of money to put toward the house, and so we got it listed for $365, and it's a little over 4,000 square feet.
Yeah, if you include the basement, it's 4,600 and change square feet. The basement is, I would say, half finished.
More than half, I would say.
Yeah, because there's room. They had some rooms built down there. There's extra storage
flooring.
rooms. There's nice flooring down there already.
Fireplace.
The water sealant is a lifetime warranty transferable as well.
It was done by
Oh, that's
AFS, and he keeps the maintenance up on that.
Yeah.
It just got maintained, so that's really
and it's
cool.
a lifetime
That is a good
warranty and it's transferable. So
Yeah. And then, so our other one is we still have land that's it's 9.68 acres up in Hampshire. It's rural living, but it is absolutely beautiful up there. There's 2 different places that have perked for building sites, and it's unrestricted except for you
No
can't have
pigs.
Bless
pigs.
you.
So no pigs.
No pigs, unfortunately. But yeah, it is rural living. It is kind of off grid, but it is close enough that you can get power to it.
Oh
It
yeah,
just-
it's power's at the road.
Yeah, the power's at the road. You know, you just got to spend the money to get it up the hill.
If you want to build up top, or you can build
you
down
wanted to
bottom
build
right
top,
there.
yeah.
It's ready to go.
I mean, I'd send power both spots and live up top and put where a
shop
house or
down
a shop
bottom.
down at the bottom. Yeah, 100%.
I bet.
And there's a lot of not landscaping, but a lot of excavating work that was already done for it. They've ditched around because the bottom lot that's next to the road butts up right against the hill. So you would have a lot of water runoff when it rains and stuff, and then flood out your lot. Well, they went ahead and ditched around it, so all the water runoff from the hill gets
that's
ditched
good.
around and into the creek, goes right into the creek. So that's already done.
That's my computer ringing through there.
So, yeah, there's already been a lot of work done. Now, if you want to go out and look at it, you're more than welcome to. Just forewarned that it needs bush hogged. You know, wear some jeans and some
Tick
muck boots.
spray, tick spray.
Yeah,
We do have one that will be coming soon. It is. We actually went and looked at it the other day. It's a remodel, and it is a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house on an acre of land
yep.
Wow.
in Lawrenceburg, but
Check-
it's out in
and
the
yeah,
country.
Stay tuned for the price because it's kind of interesting. I don't want to give a price right now because we haven't got it definite. But if you need 5 bedrooms, this is definitely going to be affordable.
I think so too. And it's been completely remodeled, and he does phenomenal work, and
he does.
we're quite excited about it. I
We
think it'll
might
be ready
be
in a
working
couple
for him
months.
a little bit, actually.
Yeah.
I have a listing up in Hohenwald on Switzerland, and it is a 3-bedroom. No, it's not. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, and it has 9.1 acres, and it's got a 2-car garage close to the house, and then it's got a 2-stall shop with a car lift, and it's separate from the house, and could be a business. Somebody was looking at it for horses. It could be anything. It's a nice building with concrete floors. It's got its own breakers out there, and the house is it reminds me kind of like a log cabin style house, and it's got a pond, and it's just pretty.
It is. It's a beautiful place out there.
It is gorgeous. I've
flat
actually
land.
seen it once, and it's stunning.
Yeah, and all the land is, and some of it's still wooded, some of it's cleared off, and it'd make a great property.
Great mini farm for sure.
It would. There's city water available and septic and a sewer, I believe.
I did
think.
not. I don't know that. I
I don't
know.
remember. But check that out on Switzerland. And I've got 2 acres over close to NACO. It has a right-of-way back to it and no road frontage. And that's listed at $29,900. So I think that's all I got right now. Everything else I have is under contract.
Same.
So if you have something to sell, hit us up.
Pat, you got a listing out there in Loretta too.
Yes, I've got, it's 4-bedroom, possibly 5. You could make it 5-bedroom. Be perfect for a bed and breakfast.
Ooh, nice.
So
That's
it's
nice.
got 2 acres of property with it. So quite a bit of property. Built in the 1900s. And I've also got 4 rental properties available, starting at $850 a month.
Babe, let's go with B&B. That seems fun.
No, gosh.
We are not taking on another project for a while.
Hey, there you go. Something for Clarissa and Bella to do.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I can't imagine Clarissa cooking breakfast and serving people in the mornings. She has to get up early.
I can see it. She'd be great at it.
All right. Well, if that's it, next week we're going to talk about property management and how all of that works and what we do.
I'm glad I gave my 2 cents in of what we should be doing, because
I
then it's
know.
all changed. So
I know.
Quit asking me.
But your response triggered our thought process. So thank you very much.
It's not what he was going for,
I know
though.
it wasn't. I know.
At all.
So,
All right. So next week.
And we didn't get to local events either.
Oh my gosh. Go.
Yeah, we got time
There's
that's the
one
beauty of our own
good.
studio. We can
That's
go.
true.
We have no time limit.
Yeah, that's true. There is one I did want to talk about. The Lawrenceburg Fire Department
Yes.
is getting their Safe Haven box today on West Gaines. So that's going to be at 2 o'clock today. They said you can come out and be a part of that if you'd like to, or they're going to have it live on Facebook and YouTube, I believe, too. And you
Does
can watch
everybody
it
know
that
what
way,
a Safe
too.
Haven box is?
Safe
I do
Haven.
not. I don't know.
Safe Haven box is a box that they put in fire departments, hospitals, where if you have a newborn baby or a baby at all, and you can't take care of it or you don't, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can take it to this box, put it in there. It dings and lets the fire department or the hospital know somebody's put a baby in there, and no questions asked. They don't ask you any questions. They don't judge you. They don't come looking for you. It's a safe place to give up your baby. So
No questions asked.
no, they don't care. They won't follow you. They won't find you. It's
Rather
just,
you put it in there than a dumpster.
exactly,
Correct.
exactly.
How old do they have to be?
I want to say it's up to a year old, but I'll double check that.
Yeah, I don't think I
So-
could fit Bella in that box.
I'm pretty sure there's no
Baby.
return
Has to be a
policy.
baby.
I was asking about Homer if he would fit in.
I think we're past the return
Yeah.
limit.
No, but this is a great thing
Yes,
for
it
our
is.
community,
Absolutely.
and
we
for
make
our
light of it, but we don't mean to be insensitive.
right.
I mean,
I-
there's just a lot of incidents where babies get left in places,
Correct.
and this just gives a way for the child to be safe. And whatever your situation is, you don't have to answer to it.
Right.
But you
Well,
can leave the baby safe.
A lot of people don't realize it's no questions asked, no judgment. Baby comes first.
Yep.
And you don't even have to talk to anyone,
No, you
face
just
to
put it in a
face.
box
You
and
just,
leave.
yeah.
Because I can only imagine that decision to begin with,
Oh yeah.
and then have to face another human being and
And the
answer
judgment
to
or
it.
and this is just a good way, I
Yeah, it
think
just gives the
it's-
baby a chance.
mm-hmm.
And they don't have cameras out there.
No.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
no spying on you.
That was the biggest thing.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the rodeo, though? Did you get that
Oh
one?
yeah, the rodeo this weekend, the Lone Star Rodeo. It is Friday and Saturday. It's 15 for adults, 10 for kids to get in the gate, and then because I was curious because I haven't seen any signs, Abigail's Plan Rodeo is still coming. It'll be in August. It's August 24th for her. So we have 2 in Lawrenceburg this year.
I think that's pretty. I think they do that every year. I'm wanting
The
to think
Lone Star
now.
one I think is a little newer. because Summertime Metal started back at that one. But
Oh.
yeah,
Abigail's plant. Abigail's rodeo. That's
been there
every
for a
year
long
annual.
time. Yeah.
I think what are we year 8 or 9 for that
I
now?
think so.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've still
Doesn't-
never been to a rodeo.
Doesn't the
so-
sheriff's department sponsor a rodeo too?
Murray County
We've
Sheriff
never been
Department
Okay.
does
to a
a
rodeo?
rodeo.
I've never been to a rodeo.
Oh, we have to fix that.
That's what I was thinking.
we gotta,
you need
you
to go
gotta
to the
take him to a
rodeo.
But I've
rodeo.
watched them on TV.
It's
or
different
whatever.
in person.
Right
It's
on Cowboy.
different.
Did y'all see that bull that jumped into the?
Over the yes,
yeah,
that
he
was
jumped
great.
The fence. He was going back to the pens to get with the other cows, and he just said,
He
"The
just
heck with
left
this."
the whole arena.
Oh,
He was done.
I'm going home.
Yeah, that was
Rodeos
great.
are fun, but the ones I've been to are kind of a bit boring. They just didn't
Not
do
a
real
lot
good.
of action.
Not a lot of action. I'm a truck and tractor pull kind of girl more.
I am too. I like that too.
There are some rodeos that don't add, like they just kind of.
What's that big-
Like
the-
Hohenwald doesn't usually have a good one.
The big one in Nashville.
PBR?
I mean, yeah, PBR.
Yeah. Now
In
those
Vegas
are.
and-
I'd love to go
I've been
to
to
an
one
actual
of
PBR.
those, and that was amazing.
Yeah, that
A
I would
totally
like to go
different
to.
experience.
And now, hockey, when it comes to hockey, I like not professional.
Yeah, I was like, I used to love hockey, but now that they're not like allowed to touch each other, I'm like, okay, what happened to hockey? Like hockey,
I wanna see
half the
blood
fun
on the
was like,
ice.
yeah,
Hockey is not.
it's not the
something I
same.
am into.
I don't like
all.
it on TV. I cannot watch it on TV. I'm bored. But if I'm at the event, I can get into it when they start
David
hitting
and
each other.
David and I went with these guys to go watch our very first hockey game.
First
Very
and last.
Yeah.
And it went into overtime, and we both said, "Oh, shoot!" We didn't say shoot though. And then we were so happy when they made that score. Then it was over because we couldn't even keep up with the damn puck or with the puck.
Oh,
Anyway.
another thing, which I guess we'll kind of cover it next week if we're doing property management, but they released this morning, it's not funny. It's not. But I'm like, come on, people. In Paris, Tennessee, a woman has been arrested for the scams on Facebook where and not just her, like it's a big thing all over. She'll take homes for sale pictures and
Oh,
post
yeah.
them for rent on Marketplace and then charge you the application fee.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
and
they
deposit
caught-
if they can get
Yes,
deposit out of you, they're trying.
they're
Caught her?
going to, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They caught her.
Throw the book at
So
her.
I am going to share that on my page because it has a number and it's saying if you've been scammed by this number to call the sheriff's department because
So
she has
we-
done it everywhere.
We actually had somebody to call in on a Zillow call, and
Yeah.
Nathan took it, and he was talking to her, and she called, and it was this rental place, and so we're like, something doesn't sound right, and so he decided to call the agent and let him know, hey, this says it's for sale, but somebody's calling and saying this place is for rent, and come to find out, this agent had been like hit multiple times with his listings on them being for rent.
Well, it was even worse than that. Okay, like in March when Josh and I were looking for a place to rent, we had found one in Columbia. Went there, lockbox worked, opened the lockbox, went in, looked at the house. Well, then I come around to the front yard and I'm like, wait a second. It was a real estate firm sign, but it wasn't for rent, like it wasn't for sale. And I was like, that's not who we're dealing with. So I called the firm and I was like, hey, I'm at this house, and she's like, did you get in? And I was like, yeah, like he gave me the code for the combo box. And she was like, give me a second. This guy had hacked their entire system, changed the lockbox codes for like an hour at a time to where they wouldn't notice anybody was doing it, and had already taken a deposit for one of their other rentals.
Oh no!
So like I had to send them all the emails and phone calls and everything, and I was just like, good Lord, like these people are going hardcore on these
That's
rentals.
what happens when the economy is so tough and
Mm-hmm.
everything costs so much and
We see a
crime
lot more
rate
of that.
crime rate goes up.
Has nothing to do with that.
No.
It's just
I
it's just
think it
people
does.
trying to steal money and
Steal
they're trying
money.
to figure out
A
trying
way
to
to
figure
do
out a
it.
way of doing it. It has nothing to do with the economy.
Well-
We're not out here waiting in lines for sugar, but so it's more so just
Crooked people.
crooked people getting more sophisticated.
Yeah, like scamming is
Yeah.
just taking on a whole new era. Like they're learning how to do it bigger and worse every year.
So if it's a rental price that sounds too good to be true.
Exactly.
It is.
Yes, it is too good to be
Because
true.
I had that the one in Iron City,
Mm-hmm.
where it was 3 bedrooms, all of the amenities and everything, and he wasn't asking for that much on rent. He just wanted to get it rented. And people would say, "Is this a scam?"
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because this was a house too, and you know that if it's a house and you're looking at $800 a month rent, you better question it.
Well, and I
Something's
always
up.
tell people, I'm like, if you see houses for rent on there, like, you can click on the ad, click on their profile, and then see how old their profile page is. If it's only 6 months old or a year old and there's no personal pictures, or the pictures have changed drastically over the past year, like, you're probably dealing with a scam.
Yeah.
But always check out their pages and
That's
how
why
long their
we
page
just
is
do it
on
old
there.
fashioned. Just call us.
Call us.
Yeah.
Just call us.
You need to talk to an actual person, and
Right.
if they are unwilling to meet you there,
Absolutely.
And they
Something's
want
up.
an application fee or a deposit before you even look at the place.
yeah.
like this one is, he wanted an application fee, but he wanted the deposit. He kept demanding a deposit. Even he would never meet her to like.
Yeah, because she kept saying, because when I talked to her, she was like, yeah, I'm just trying to see this house. And I was like, well, if you want to buy it, sure, we could go look at it, but I'm not going to go show you a rental property. I mean, it's not our rental property. And I was like, I don't want to set this precedent. And then she was like, yeah, because he never has time to show me the property, and he wants me to pay a deposit. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to call the
Something's
agent.
not right.
And see
Yeah.
what's going on.
So he called the agent, and then he called her back and said, "Hey, that's a scam. This is what's going on." And she'd already been scammed once.
Yeah.
That's why she was checking into it a lot
Yeah,
more.
but she ruined my Zillow call. She took my Zillow call.
How's that Zillow call?
That's a $150 Zillow call for a rental property that doesn't even exist.
All right,
Yeah,
gang.
that was it. For
We got to
now.
go for. We got
We
to
actually
go. We
gotta
got to go
work.
work.
We actually
Yeah.
got to go to work now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Hey, everybody want to give out phone numbers?
Yes.
Okay, you can call the office at 931-762-4247 right there behind Teresa. Or you can call me direct at 931-345-2736.
And then Victoria Watts is at 931-253-1307 or 1308. Sorry.
Try that again. Do that one more
I'll
time.
try it again. 931-253-1308. There we go. Got it that time.
All right, you can reach me or Nathan. We are Kevin's home team at 931-345-2406.
You can reach me here at the office at 1288 First Avenue, right behind McDonald's, or the phone number here, or on my cell phone at 931-271-5790. Everybody have a good day. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.